Welcome to the Poisoner's Cabinet. I'm Sinead.
And I'm Nick.
And this is your weekly podcast exploring the lives of the great poisoners, macabre murders and captivating crimes from across the centuries, and creating curious cocktails inspired by the tales that we tell. And it's episode 262.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. How are you, Nick?
I'm very well.
You're very well.
Very well.
It's all basically fine,
It's
isn't
all
it?
basically
It's all basically fine.
Basically
No one's
fine.
losing their minds
Not
this
at all.
week.
Not in the slightest. I think we do say this a lot. We just send our entire lives in this sort of edge of crisis.
Which is what makes the comedy so
Well, this is true,
good.
exactly. Yeah.
If we were perfectly balanced, lovely people,
Where's the fun in that?
it would just be a bit of a Monday. Oh, how are you? Oh, lovely. Very nice. Lemonade, please. No. I think this week's been a little bit more fraught for no reason. Well, for
several reasons.
Several reasons, but not that we want to go into. No, please, we're fine. But you're well otherwise.
Apart from I'm here. I'm alive.
Good.
We're doing some recording.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay. There'll be drinks and
There'll
we're
be
in
drinks
good company.
and jollity, and then I can go to bed.
Yeah. Can I come too?
Absolutely.
Well, any poisonings this week?
Me.
You.
Me. Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. I think I've been poisoned as well. and we'll find the culprits.
We shall
responsible.
indeed, yes. For filling my brain full of Excel sheets. The bastards.
It's Microsoft then getting to you. Mine's probably my antiviral software that I keep paying for, going, why don't you do anything? You awful things. Well, speaking of having your brain just absolutely filled with antiviral things and spreadsheets, but being delightful while doing it, I think it's time for us to thank our delicious Patreon subscribers.
Yes, indeed. And this week we must say thank you very much to Cyanides.
Hey.
Yeah, see what you did there? See what you did there?
Very good. To Jamie Nagel.
To Daniela Pordash.
And to Annie Bean 8.
Hurrah!
You delicious, sexy Patreon subscribers. We've been having lots of fun on Patreon this week. We didn't have a Deadly Nightcaps episode for reasons we put out on Patreon, but we did release a little taster of our After Dark chats for everyone. This is the extra episode that we do every week, which is our warm-up chat that we do before recording the main episode. That is increasingly unhinged, unplanned, raw, very strange chat.
Yes, there's a lot of weird tangents that happen.
Yes, and that is our friendship.
That just comes out of our brains.
Yeah, and it's not us just going, oh my God, people should just record our lives.
Oh, we just great.
We're just great. No, it's not planned and it happens. It's usually us just getting all the crazy out beforehand. But we released this to everyone. Went down well. People had thoughts.
I'm glad.
People had a lot of opinions about whether, about gigs and cinemas that should serve a full dinner.
I mean, yeah, I saw those comments, but a full dinner?
With a film? People were talking about cinemas. We were talking about like a good dinner, sit-down dinner while watching a gig.
Yeah.
There's something in that. A good steak.
Yes.
And some red wine.
But also a gig, I could get that, but a film, I don't know, because I'll be annoyed by the interruption.
Yeah, the clanking of the clanking.
If people are clanking, actually, a snack,
Yeah. A
fine.
snack is fine.
Like, because the local cinema to us is very fancy. You can get like a pizza and things like that.
Yeah,
you get it at the beginning.
Hands.
But hands, no cutlery clanking away or anything like that, and there's not particularly crunchy, which is good. Pizza, good snack, because not crunchy. So it doesn't interrupt other people, and you don't have like people coming and serving all the way through and stuff like that. Whereas like, if it was like a more of a formal sort of or actual meal.
Yeah, you'd be interrupting the film.
Interrupting and people.
This is the kind of hot debate that goes on.
Well, exactly. People who aren't on Patreon are missing this gold.
Exactly. There are episodes on there as well. There's all sorts of crimes and capers, extra Deadly Nightcaps episodes that we do on there, and all this bonus material behind the scenes. We also had our book club at the weekend, wonderful book club, which was a delight, where we see people from around the world who are into the books that we choose every 6 weeks or so. Get together, we have a Zoom chat.
What's the new book?
Talk about it. We've got to pick it this week.
Because I might attempt to read it.
Maybe you should.
I haven't read a book for fucking ages.
Well, you should. Because, we've got Halloween coming up.
Well,
so next pick is going to be something spooky. And I've been discussing with the Patreons that maybe a combination of a truly scary book. There's quite a few on my TBR. I have some suggestions and people share their suggestions as well. But also something cozy and there's some very good, silly, cozy, occasionally spicy spooky books for Halloween that we might throw in there as well, that are easy, fun, delightful reads to get you in the mood for fall, but also some stuff that can terrify you.
Okay.
But that all happens on Patreon and also on our Facebook group, the Belladonna Book Club. If you want to know what the hell we're talking about, please do consider joining us on patreon.com/The Poisonous Cabinet. Head over there. There are 2 tiers that you can join. It's completely flexible, so you can come and go as you please. You can also gift memberships to people who love The Poisonous Cabinet. You can do annual memberships. You can do all sorts of little lovely things. And there's also merch designs that you can download from there. While we have merch stores, we've also made the designs that we put on our merch available for people as a digital download, because that can sometimes be a lot more economical for anyone who wants to adorn themselves in the Poisonous Cabinet but doesn't want to pay huge shipping fees for just a sweatshirt or so.
Or go and buy a sweatshirt. If you can't be asked to design your own. Like, I wouldn't. I would just go, huge shipping fees, bring it on. It makes my life 5 minutes quicker.
Exactly. We have a US merch store and a UK one as well. But for people further around the world, you may just want the digital designs, but it's all there for the taking. Well, okay, you're ready.
I'd probably not.
To drink cocktails and talk about poison.
Yeah, go on then.
Or we could drink poison, because I think we're mentally ready for it.
Yes.
And to talk about cocktails, because I don't think the poison will hit.
Probably not.
The brain chemistry at the moment this week is going to fight it.
No, that Negroni will just burn it out.
For safety's sake, should we go with the first one?
Yes.
For legal reasons, should we go with the first one?
Okay.
Okay. Hooray, hooray, hooray. It was supposed to be Nick's story this week.
But I cried a lot.
He cried a lot.
At Sinead.
And it's...
At Sinead. At Sinead.
At Sinead.
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 It's a new name, Sinead.
And I cried at that. And then after we'd stopped fighting. It's my episode again this week. Hooray, hooray, hooray. But we can't possibly have an episode without a cocktail in hand. As you know, dear listeners, every week we choose a secret ingredient that is inspired by the tale that we tell, and it will flavour our cocktail of the week. And this week's secret ingredient is a magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass.
Big old magnifying
Big old
glass.
magnifying glass.
Oh, what do you use magnifying glasses for? Oh, to find the crimes.
To magnify things.
Magnify things.
Yes.
Actually, no, it's not usually to find the crimes, just to find the clues.
It's to find the clues that leads to the crime. You don't find the crimes with the magnifying glass. You generally have the crime to begin with.
There's crime over here. Someone's missed a bit of crime in the corner.
There's a tiny, tiny crime over here.
Yes, a magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass.
How you choose to use it is entirely up to
It's
you.
quite amusing. My father uses a magnifying glass.
Does it all?
He has it on his desk to read his correspondence, because even with like glasses about 4 inches thick, he's still blind as a bat.
My dad did that too, though.
So he has his
glasses.
magnifying glass there to read a letter from the bank or something. It's quite amusing.
Because guys tend to use the traditional looking magnifying glass, the sort of thing you would see in a detective novel, whereas mammies, as my mum did, they have a big sheet. the magnifying glass board with 2 handles on the side that you sort of hover over whatever magazine.
But then you can read a whole book in one go then, can't you, really?
But then they sort of look up too quickly and hold it up and go, ah, in your face. And you're like, all right, mummy.
Your eyes are huge.
You're so big. Well, there we go. Well, with the magnifying glass, as your ingredient or inspiration, what have you come up with?
Well, I didn't use it as an ingredient. I did use it as inspiration.
Damn.
And I did think, well, who does use a magnifying glass?
Who does?
And I thought, fancy detectives
They do.
use magnifying glasses.
Yes.
And I thought, which one in particular is quite famous for using a magnifying glass, or picture using a magnifying glass?
Yes.
I thought Mrs Sherlock Holmes.
Oh my goodness.
So we're having a Conan Doyle.
We went down the road there, wasn't it? There we go. And one over, and one over, and hop over there. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you this week.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Perfect. Wonderful. No notes. A Conan Doyle. Ooh, good. He was crazy.
He was.
We need to do an episode on
I would say,
him.
is the episode on him?
No, and I regret this now. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I could have done
So when we do
Conan
one on him,
Doyle.
we're going, oh, shit.
Oh, well, soon. Well, yeah, he can't be the own ingredient for his own story.
This is true.
Yeah, there we go. So this will be a taster for what's to come. Wonderful. Well, I think it is high time for us to sleuth into the Poisonous Cabinet kitchen and shake up a storm, so we'll see you in a minute.
We'll see you in a bit.
And we're back.
Hello.
So, Nick, the Conan Doyle. Conan Doyle. We definitely haven't done this before, have we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, good. Well, if we
pretty
have,
so.
it's too fucking late now.
No, exactly. That's what we're having. So.
Delicious. No, the Conan Doyle, it looks very nice. I'm just going to have a sip of water because I don't know if it'll pair with that slice of Edam I just took from your fridge.
Not entirely sure I was going to pair with the Haribo I just ate. So
yes.
The Haribo Fantastic.
You make the cocktail, then both of us just like Scrabble for snacks. Just like, but lovely. Okay, so it looks like a grown-up drink. It's got a twist in it. Very nice. Looks, ooh, yes, big chunk of ice in there.
Yeah.
I have high hopes. Smells pleasant.
Smells
Ooh,
drinky.
Yeah. Oh, smells. Well, that's the citrus from the twist
Yes.
as well. Lovely. Okay, I think we should dive in. Lovely. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Strong.
Yes.
Spirit forward.
Spirit forward.
Spirit right there. It's pleasant. Oh, it's pleasant. It's pleasant. Is it pleasant?
I like it. I quite.
Oh,
Yes.
that's quite nice. It's not dissimilar from a red hook. But then I think everything is a red hook that's not that.
It has got none of the same ingredients.
None of the same ingredient. Well, of course it has. There was nothing like a red hook, as I said. Okay, so what's the base of it? So not bourbon.
Not bourbon.
Rye?
Nope.
You're not doing this, being like, baby, it's rye.
No.
Okay. Calvados?
No.
Cognac?
No.
Brandy?
No.
Fuck off. What? Something else brown?
Something else
It's
brown.
brownie.
It's brown. It's brown.
Why are you looking at me like, why am
Because
I...
it's bourbon rye. It's near there. It's not bourbon or rye.
Whiskey?
Yes.
What whiskey?
A Scotch.
Scotch,
whiskey.
right, okay,
Scotch
good.
whiskey.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say a specific American whiskey.
No, it's a Scotch. Whiskey.
Sorry, yes, I should have gone there, and I'm the idiot. Yes, okay. Oh, good, a Scotch.
Yes.
Lovely. Just a bit of normal blended
A normal,
Scotch.
yeah. The recipe calls for a sort of an Islay, and I'm not a fan of the heavily peaty.
I like Islays.
Yeah, but I don't, and I have to drink it. I'll make another one for you with a peaty one if you want.
Okay, good. Right, no, just give me a bottle of Islay.
I should have
and see
done.
what
I should have
happens.
done one of each, but I didn't.
No, it's fine.
Yes, the recipe calls for a more of a peaty one, but I cannot get on with the smokiness of them, so I went with the blended Scotch.
Baby.
Yes, I'm a big child with eating my Harrow beforehand.
Exactly. I don't want the smokiness.
So with the smoky, I want sweets.
All right, so whiskey. Whiskey in the jar. Is there? It doesn't feel like there's a citrus added apart from the twist of lemon.
You're absolutely correct.
So no cherry. So no maraschino.
No maraschino.
No maraschino. Something fruity.
No.
No herby. Twiggy.
No. I'll be very surprised if you get it.
Floral. Drambuie.
No.
Elderflower.
No.
Lychee. Banana.
Not mean it does have fruit in it, but a very
What?
it's part of the makeup has some fruitiness.
So some sort of weird. Is it an Amaro?
It's not an Amaro.
It's not.
We've had it before.
Okay.
Think Jamaica.
No,
Yes.
I never say right. I am so sorry.
Falernum.
Falernum. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Falernum. Because what is falernum again?
So it is.
Remind me for the
Basically,
19th time.
it's a rum. It's rum, but it's mixed with sugar and it's got some lime in there and various sort of like spices and stuff like that,
So whiskey and falernum. What else? Is that it?
and some barrel aged bitters.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's a grown-up drink.
It's a grown up drink.
That's
yeah.
a grown-up
Yep.
drink one.
So it's just it's whiskey. And it's just rounded slightly with the sort of falernum, a bit of sweetness from the falernum and things like that. I mean, the recipe does call for the more dilution, the more enjoyable it is.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, so it's served over a big chunk of ice.
Quite
So it's quite
punches you in the face.
Yeah.
Though
so
I do really want to try it with the Islay.
If you want one with an Islay, I'll make you one with an Islay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hold on, people. Well, we're back again.
Back again.
Nick very kindly did remake the drink for me.
For you, just for
with
you.
the Islay, because I'm intrigued. I
Yeah.
think that it's nice, but I really want to see how the peatiness goes. Okay.
Go for it.
Here we go. Smells peaty. Oh, it's nice. Peaty with the twist of the lemon on there. Oh, it's nice. Okay, right, diving in. I like that a lot.
Nice.
It's very peaty and smoky.
Yep.
It is very peaty and smoky, but it almost mellows it because without it, it's very
Yeah.
hit of alcohol.
But I think
You have to
with
be
that,
okay
with
with the
that sort of
smokiness.
bit of sugariness and bit of
Yeah,
just,
it's nice.
just sort of, just take the edges off maybe.
Yeah, it is nice. Do you want to try it?
I'm good, thank you. I shall
No,
stick with
you're
this one.
like,
Oh no, I like this one.
It is like drinking a bonfire, but this one with spices.
Excellent.
Yeah, there we go. It won't be for everyone, but it's a
No,
serious
indeed not.
drink.
It's a grown up balls out drink.
Balls out.
Balls
What?
out. You can only drink this if you have your testicles on the full display. As I have now, but Sinead just hasn't looked.
Good, because there's a table between us. That's
Yes.
all fine. Well, I'll work on mine.
Yes, you do that.
It's one for parties, I fear. Come round for dinner. Balls out, everyone.
Balls out,
There we
everyone.
are. Lovely. Well,
Conan Doyle, anyone? Balls out, balls out.
he was quite mad, so
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, with the Conan Doyle firmly in hand, balls in the other.
Balls in the other.
Are you ready for a story, Nick?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Crime is rife on the streets, Nick.
It is.
It is. It's on the streets of the world.
Just
It's everywhere.
The world streets.
It's everywhere. Crime stalks us every day. And a good thing too, because that's the entire basis of this podcast. We would be nothing without it. But while criminals are our bread and butter, occasionally we look at the other side of the thin line of the law. Detectives, yes. They're to that detecting side. Okay, we've covered Mr. Pinkerton.
We have.
And his famous agency.
Yes.
We did
Jerome thingamajig.
Caminada.
That's the one.
Yes, very good. Very good at hiding in pianos and breaking up gay balls, apparently.
Again with the balls.
He did, again with the balls. Yeah, he was there. But what of the women, Nick?
What
of the women?
What of the women?
Exactly. It's like through history, all the great detectives, all men apart from,
Miss Marple.
Miss Marple. Yeah. She managed to crowbar in there.
Vera,
eventually.
she's in there.
Vera? Oh, yeah, you forget you like that
I
series.
love a bit of Vera.
Love a bit of Vera. But in real life, what about the women, Nick? I won't stand for you just pushing down their history. You've been doing it since this podcast started.
I famously am very anti-feminist.
Exactly,
Yes.
yeah. No more with the penis washing from you.
The ball washing.
I didn't think it through before I said it, genuinely. Generally, but anyway. Try as you might to suppress this piece of history.
And believe me, I've tried.
Yeah. You alluded to why you chose the Conan Doyle.
Yes.
With the magnifying glass.
Yes.
Well, that's quite good because this week we're talking about the Mrs. Sherlock Holmes.
Mrs. Sherlock Holmes.
A woman named Mrs. Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
A real life detective, lawyer, private investigator, the exquisitely named Mary Quackenbos.
I mean, that is an excellent name.
It is an excellent
And you said
name.
I might have heard this one, but I do not. I would have remembered that name mainly because obviously she's a woman.
She's a
So
woman.
it's
You
just
went,
bleh.
you just see her and just went, oh, she's got
God, no.
boobs and ovaries.
And the tide all over the place.
Tides are all over the place. Oh, God, that'll just be a mess this episode. Well, buckle in because we're going sailing. With the tale of Mary Quackenbos, a remarkable lawyer, private investigator, and detective working in America in the earliest 20th century.
The earliest.
I was going to pass by that.
It's going to style that out.
Working in America in the early 20th century. Happy?
That's much better. I prefer real grammar.
The earliest of...
The earliest of the 20th century.
The earliest of she worketh in the 20th centuryeth. Verily she did. Anyway, she became famous for how passionately and skillfully she sought justice for people that society had either forgotten or cast aside. And therefore, bits of this story are going to make you quite angry in places. But she's really a remarkable figure. And history did, for a time, just sort of wipe her from the records, as they often do. Girls,
don't do much.
Yeah, because she wasn't someone who was seeking fame and fortune and who was courting publicity. She was just incredibly good at what she did.
Just doing good things for the sake of doing good things.
Exactly. And she worked very, very hard. There you go. Yeah, I mean, she's crazy. She's crazy. Now, the ingredient, huge magnifying glass.
Did she have one? Please say she had one.
Yes.
12.
She did. She never went anywhere without them.
4 times magnification.
She wore them on many chains around her neck. It was like a hood ornament thing.
I imagine them on a chatelaine type thing.
Oh, yes, like on a chatelaine. That would be great.
Yeah,
the
just
small one, the big one.
The big one. There's a whole range of magnifying glasses, all for very specific purposes.
People could hear her clanking down the street coming, run, criminals, run, Mary Quackenbos.
She set many a fire as she went.
Burning ants the whole time. No, I did go with, you know what, it was last minute, it was detective, big magnifying glass, there you go.
Great.
I offered you scissors and I offered you turpentine.
No, you didn't. You offered me scissors. You offered me turpentine half an hour after you arrived this evening.
Well, I didn't think you'd take it. I think if I put turpentine, scissors, or magnifying glass, I think we'd all know which one got.
But I've got turpentine. I could have used it.
I don't want to drink that again. I don't want to go to the hospital. But who was Mary?
Ooh.
Who was Mary? Mary was born Mary Grace Winterton, so Quackenbos would become her married name.
Interesting choice.
Interesting choice of man.
Yes.
Quackenbos, really?
Really?
No, this is interesting.
Can I keep Winterbottom?
Winterton.
Oh, Winterbottom. I thought it was Winterbottom.
Stop whimsicaling her name.
Winterton.
Winterbottom.
No, should have hyphenated.
Winterton Quackenbos.
Winterton Quackenbos. That's an excellent name.
That is quite good, actually. But she wasn't born that at all. She was born September 1869, New York City. New York City. She was daughter of a wealthy merchant, well-to-do, well-off family.
Mother was a magnifying glass.
Important. Her mother was a magnifying glass. Her mother was an ant trying to escape her father's glare. And her grandfather, she had quite an interesting family history. Her grandfather was a partner of prominent abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison. in which all of this, not much is known about her childhood, but people write about the interesting family history she had, the fact that she had a well-off family, so she was quite secure, but she did have relatives who were very vocal in their support of the abolition of slavery. They worked for people's rights. They were very much on the right side of history.
Okay. Very good, very good.
Now, her childhood was comfortable, to say the least.
Yes.
Benefited from an excellent education. But even with the excellent education, trying to mould something out of a girl, it was said early on that she showed signs of an exceptionally sharp mind. She was very, very clever.
No one wants that in a woman. No one wants that in a wife.
She wasn't sort of setting out to be a wife, particularly. She was twice.
But that's what you do when you're a girl.
When you're there's nothing else for her.
Nothing else. It's just being a wife. And no husband wants a clever wife.
Nobody wants that. Well, I think people just found her remarkable because, again, she graduated from Hunter College, it was a very good college, in 1888, just in time to be Jack the Ripper.
Excellent.
Exactly. But she was determined to further her education. She went to New York University's law school.
Nice.
So she enrolled in law school. And this is, again, of a time you can't underestimate.
Pretty damn good.
You know, there's not a lot of women in there.
No.
It was co-ed. They were allowed in, and people were like,
Yes.
there's 11 women.
I mean, we say it's co-ed, but really?
We never thought anyone would do it.
Exactly.
They were just like, how do we control the tides? It's crazy. Her interest in law, now it was said it started as more of a self-interest, but it
Okay.
was practical because she came from a wealthy family. She wanted to study law in order to be able to manage her estate.
Okay.
Because her parents did pass. She was going to inherit and she would be well off, but she wanted to know everything about it and she wanted to manage it herself.
Cunning.
Because, think about it, you know, young women inherit and there's a bunch of blokes,
Oh, absolutely.
lawyers go, oh yeah, and here's your trust and here's a few
Yes.
dollars to go and buy yourself a pretty stole or something like that and we'll just put everything away. And she was like, no, I want to be in control of all of it.
Nice. Good for her.
Very smart and a wise one. She wanted to be able to confidently manage this estate. And she did so well in her studies. She was doing so well at the university that the dean of the law school encouraged her to take evening classes as well as doing her day classes. Said
In
if you
home
do
economics.
in eggs.
In sewing.
She turned up, and that was the thing. You should take evening classes, right? I can do more law. No. Make me a dress.
Yes.
Could you just iron these trousers, please, and hem the cuffs and make me a martini, please? No, you don't want to do that.
No,
Okay,
no,
fine. Well, we
no.
could probably put you on some more law courses. No, the dean apparently saw potential in her and said, take the evening classes. And she completed her law course in 2 years instead of 3.
That's damn good.
Yeah, she was a smart girl. I think she finished something like 7th in her class. And this is NYU.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is
Law
skipping
school.
a year.
Yeah, this is like, you know, at the end of the 1800s, where it's just like, they're all just like staring at her going, what?
You can read?
A witch! So after she graduated, she worked at the Legal Aid Society.
No.
So she worked there for a year and that enabled her to then be accepted at the bar in 1904. So this work that she did at the Legal Aid Society, she's obviously going to be immediately in touch with people who need help desperately
Yes.
and cannot afford it, you know, really the most worthy people, rather than sort of being ushered into probably what she could have done, you know, from a well-off family, would
Yeah.
have known someone to go, oh yes, come and work for so-and-so's firm, little woman and everything, and probably be making the tea and being a secretary. No, she worked at, you know, ground zero, the grassroots, and she built up this knowledge. I will say, in between all of this, in 1895, she married Major Henry Quackenbos.
Nice.
She married a man and he took his name, which that's an excellent name.
Excellent.
This will
It
be
is an excellent name.
very good for a podcast in many years' time. They were married. They divorced in 1911, at some point before 1911. This is how little is written about her private life, which I kind of respect, given that...
Oh, yeah, exactly. She's got more important things to be talking about.
Exactly. More important things. There's plenty of like men in history where it's like, here was his wife and everything. Oh, fuck them and the kids. Never mind. And in this case, no one cares really about the husbands. Major Henry, or sometimes he's called Dr. Henry. He could have been a major doctor.
Major Doctor.
Or a Dr. Major.
Dr. Major.
But they were married, divorced some point before 1911, because that's when she married her second husband,
Right.
Howard Hummerston. She went by Hummerston later. Sometimes she's called Quackenbos Hummerston.
Nice.
So that she hyphenated.
Winston and Quackerton Hummerston.
I'm mentioning the husbands now. Do not figure in the
Nice.
story whatsoever. No children are written about in any of the accounts. But she had more important things to do.
Well,
so there we
she
go.
was a busy lady.
That was where she got her name. Screw them. They're out of the picture now. So by 1905, Mary founded the People's Law Firm. And she wanted to continue her work from the Legal Aid Society, and she would start this private law firm. But she wanted to focus on people who were poor, and namely the immigrants. So New York City, many people are coming to New York for a better life from Europe. A lot of Italian immigrants, a lot of people coming over, and they barely speak English, if at all, coming over, and are absolutely prime for being taken advantage of.
Oh, yes.
People who are coming, trying to earn a living, provide for their families, get accommodation, fight deportation orders, trying to find out if they're getting the right deal in any of the jobs that they're offered. There's so many people who need help, and there are so many poor people who are being taken advantage of, but they do not have the funds to go and hire a fancy high-priced lawyer, or, they're on the waiting list at the Legal Aid Society. So while she may have had mildly selfish reasons for studying law in the first place, practical reasons, I would say.
I mean, yeah, not selfish. I think entirely practical reasons.
Yeah,
absolutely,
exactly.
yeah.
I think it's when if you compare it to later on, is that she did practical reasons for studying law, is to look after herself. She was going to focus on the people who needed help the most. She said that her law firm was providing working people with St. Regis law at Mills Hotel prices.
Nice.
She also said later, my idea in establishing the firm was to demonstrate that a legal bureau for the aid of the poor could be operated at a scale of prices within their reach and to their great benefit. She wanted to do scalable prices, and other places weren't doing that. It's lawyers and law firms.
This is the price.
Absolutely, as much as you can. If you can't, well, boo-hoo, sorry. As well as helping immigrants who'd been swindled, working people facing evictions at the hands of unscrupulous landlords, Mary also got involved in a few more print-worthy cases. Now, she became print-worthy not only because she got involved in good cases that seemed to be like really 11th hour. She would sort of sail in with her big clatter of her magnifying glasses, and she was called, of course, at the front, the lady lawyer.
The lady lawyer.
Basically, a lady. She knew law and shit. And she basically pissed all over the men who were just like, nothing can be done in this case.
The jury were just there going, it's a lady.
It's a lady.
Well, they don't know what to do with the lady.
There's not a lot written about sort of her going to trial or anything like that. It's more that people sort of said, this investigation is done. But she was just sort of coming and going, well, here's all this evidence, and there you go, I've done it in 10 minutes. And they're like, oh. Oh my goodness. The lady lawyer knows shit. She stepped in where police had spectacularly failed. There was one case of a robbery that apparently had been reported to the NYPD. It's mentioned to her. The details of it, unfortunately, was scant, and I think it involved a Spanish business. There was a business that had a break-in, that had a robbery. The Spanish owners were trying to communicate with the police, and they were just like, no, we don't know. We can't possibly catch them. The business owner approached Mary and asked for help, and she would work pro bono a lot of the time. She said, yep, okay. Within a month, she had not only found the robbers, but she had brought them forward, and they also had their confessions, and said, here you go, here's the robbers, and they're willing to confess, there you go, police. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Wonderfully sensational, film-worthy story. I don't know why it's not been done. Because, again, the details are scant. I mean, there were newspaper articles that I could read. And, like, newspaper articles at the time are sort of, like, going off on wild tangents where they are padding about, women. They were perioding everywhere, apparently. But it was a case of a young Italian woman named Antoinette Tola. She was 26. She was from New Jersey. And her case came to Mary's attention because she was on death row. She was convicted of murdering a man named Joseph Sonta.
Okay.
And she'd been found guilty. And not only were there students or people close to her who were clamouring, saying this case needs more attention. Apparently Mary was written to by some students, some legal students, said, please look at this case. Also, the Italian consul general got in touch with her and said, please, will you help? And she had shot a man. She had done it. She had shot this man, Joseph Sonta. And she's facing the death penalty. And Mary gets involved in the case. She immediately sets out for New Jersey. She hears about it. The Italian consulate says, we'll pay you. She says, no, I don't need the money. I'll work pro bono. This is women for women, she said. I will look after this. Nice. So she sails in, everyone going, oh, she's wonderful. And she goes and she demands the files from the state governor who has them. And he's like, you're wasting your time. Take the files, you're wasting your time. It's open and shut. And she goes through it 3 days before the death sentence is to be carried out. Within a week of her coming on board, Mary has convinced the Board of Pardons to reduce her sentence. The woman will now face 7 years imprisonment because Mary was able to prove that she acted in self-defense. The man that she shot was trying to sexually assault her. was trying to assault her, was actually trying to break up her marriage, apparently. But there was all this evidence, and this woman had a gun, and she shot him to save her life,
That's fair.
essentially. And this hadn't been admitted to trial. There was evidence, clear evidence of this, not been admitted to trial because it wasn't translated properly. So she just turns up and goes, "There you go."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay. Who is this woman?" Like, God, she's hot. She was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. She served 6. When she was freed, there was a newspaper article when she was freed in 1912, the Newcastle Herald in Pennsylvania, which was very detailed all of her coming out of jail, and they were remarking about this wonderful story, the turnaround of events, her life had been saved, and saying how improved Antoinette was when she came out, that she had learned English, she could speak and write it fluently, she was determined to look after, she had a family outside and was so committed to looking after them and to helping people who were less fortunate. And they were talking about the difference between the woman who went in, this absolutely ignorant peasant, they said.
Prison is such a good thing for people.
It's a good thing, it just reformed her completely. It really was leaning on kind of what a transformation she had in prison, going, I don't think she should have been
marvellous.
in there. And remarking on the case, the Evening World, another newspaper, wrote, "No wonder old greybeards of the New Jersey bar were shaking their heads in amazement over that woman's feet." It's like they were like, "Oh, it's not the case.
Nothing you do, nothing you do. Well, you could read this in English." Oh, look.
She just walks out just looking at her nails like, "Yep, there we go." Sensational story. But as I said at the beginning, Mary not interested at all in publicity for herself.
Yeah.
She could have been a cause to celebrate. She could have been a complete celebrity in New York, and she wasn't bad looking either. She absolutely,
and from a good family and stuff like that, so she
very much so.
Yeah. But refusing payment and not wanting to court the press. That's good to call on her.
All she wanted to focus on was the firm. She now had 2 offices open. She had a team of staff and 550 cases pending. And she was going to focus on all of them with her rest of the attorneys she'd hired. She was a force to be reckoned with because she was not only very clever and very well trained, but she had her own money. She couldn't be threatened with losing her business and losing her case because she had family money behind her.
Yeah.
And she wasn't going to flaunt it and sort of live the high life. She's like, I'm completely secure and independent. So an independent, clever woman,
that's a scary thing.
You're like, stop them at once.
No, it can't be true.
Bags of confidence are not interested, as far as we can see, in fame and fortune. Yeah. It's rare we find people like that.
Yes, in a crime podcast.
In a crime podcast. She was described as pretty with jet black eyes and hair. Slightly terrifying.
Yes.
A vivacious manner and a keen, penetrating stare.
She a crow.
Well, she was tall and slender, and she always wore black gowns.
There we go.
She always wore black gowns with touches of white at the collar and at the neck. Little hints of fashion.
I'm getting Judge Judy for little vibes.
And a wide flat hat with a veil at the back.
Oh.
She'd sort of always worn this kind of dress. It's like mourning dress almost since her parents died.
Okay.
But she was seen as just very smart, sensible, stylish, pretty, tall, imposing. Had cut this quite the figure. But as she worked away doggedly for all of these people and determinedly, she found she had stumbled into a nest of vipers.
Oh.
When she learned about a shocking spike in the number of immigrants who were going missing from New York.
Oh.
No, they hadn't ended up in the Hudson. Far worse. They'd gone to Florida.
My God.
And I think that's time for a drink.
Absolutely.
Nick, we have our drinks.
We do.
And we're in Florida.
We're in Florida.
How have we gone from the heady heights of New York to Florida of all places?
To the gators.
I know I set that up as in well, it's true. There were loads of immigrants going missing who arrived in New York. And
they forced to build the first Disneyland.
Don't come with Disney was I would wager Disney was part of this.
Absolutely. They're still there in the small world, mining away.
It's a tiny, tiny world.
They're real people. They're 400 years old.
That is the legend, isn't it? Is that some people are trapped in there. It's not that.
It's not that.
It's not that. No. With Mary's practice growing and her reputation growing strong for helping poor and desperate clients, Mary ended up being approached several times by families of immigrants, male immigrants, predominantly Italians, who had gone missing.
Oh.
So okay, well, how have they gone missing? It turned out these men had arrived in New York and they were approached by people who said they were agents or they saw adverts for jobs in Florida.
Okay.
There is work in Florida. We will pay you $1.25 per day, which was equivalent of like $35 per day. They're amazing. Free transport down there. You'll be looked after, bed and board, food, and you can send money home to the family. This
Sounds
is
a
perfect.
bit too good to be true.
Good climate, good work down in Florida. Your family can stay here, but you can come and work for us. And they'd gone, and they'd yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Sounds great.
No word back, no money coming back. So this is terrifying to most of them.
Florida's a fucking long way.
It is. It is a long way, and that's why the families didn't travel down. It was sort of said you can't take your families with you.
That's months of travelling.
Yeah. But after all that time, it's not months of travelling. It's weeks.
Oh, it's a long.
Not that long.
It's very far.
How far are you thinking?
It's at least 4,000 miles. I don't know. Depends how fast you're travelling.
You fly from New York to Florida.
They didn't.
No, these days you do. These days you do.
That's a few hours
of travel. It's not months. It's not months of travelling to Florida. If they went a really shitty way, but these people are providing free transport to get them down there.
The slowest one they could find because it was cheaper. Yeah, we're going to tie you to these turtles. Off you go.
They're not missing because they're still trying to find Florida. All right? They're not somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic and we went wrong.
We're in Vegas. What's going on?
Oh, 20 on red. No, they're in Florida. It's not a huge murder plot, as I said. Something far more frightening and unsettling is going on. It's peonage.
It's what now?
Peonage.
Peonage. Mm-hmm. I don't know that.
Do you want to wager or guess what that might be?
No, I don't know.
Attack of the Peonies?
Yes.
No.
Just flowers.
It's forced labour.
Oh, right, okay.
That is the name for it, peonage.
Is that peonage?
Yeah, Peonage. Unless I've said that completely wrong.
Oh, yes, I suppose, because peon is... Okay, yes.
Yeah, from the Spanish.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go. So this is forced labour. You see, down south, they're not allowed slaves anymore. It's frowned upon.
It is frowned upon.
It is frowned upon. Doesn't stop the plantation owners, the companies behind all of this land and all these places going, well, how can we still make people work for us?
Yeah.
And not necessarily pay them a lot and make them stay so they don't have
indenture,
demands.
isn't it, really?
Exactly that. There's all sorts of different words for it, but this would happen.
So they signed a contract that they're going to work on this plantation or whatever for God knows how long, and that's that. So.
It's not necessarily a contract. Yeah. It's certainly black free men were roped into these sort of things because they'd be looking for work, but certainly loads of immigrants and Italian immigrants, and there was this awful language that was used about the change from slavery into immigrants are harder workers. People kind of going, oh no, this is much better. But what they would do is that while you can't just own people anymore and kick the shit out of them and say, well, work because you just have to, what they do now is a lot of people have sort of been brought into sharecropping. On the face of it, the nice version of it, going, you work for us and you get a share of the crops. But to most people who can't read or speak English very well, workers are told that you're going to earn a wage, but you also now owe your employer your lodging.
Yeah, and we paid for your transport down here. That was expensive.
We paid for your transport down here. We paid for your tools. We paid for your food. I mean, you're eating. So you are in debt to us. So they would force them sometimes to buy their tools, to buy seeds to plant that they're supposed to be getting the crops off of. But then there's just this debt that no one can really understand. It's not written down in a beautiful contract, or it's written down badly in English that they can't understand, and these huge inflated prices. So they have to constantly work to pay back these debts, and this horrible cycle continues forever.
Yeah.
Forever. For as long as they freaking well feel like, because they can go, well, no, you owe us money. And there's no way to prove that they don't. And again, in a lot of the areas where they're just like, we really wanted to keep slaves, they're going, no, we're absolutely happy to enforce this. Yeah, so very, very upsetting, very horrible situation. They are stuck in these jobs with no profit or means of escape. Nothing can go home to the families because every cent goes back to trying to repay this phantom debt that they have. And apparently one missing man famously came back to New York And he had been trapped down there for ages. He'd managed to escape and get back to New York and to his family. And this came to the attention of Mary. And he showed the scars across his back of being whipped, of being beaten, his broken body at having to do this forced labour for however many months, years, possibly. So Mary absolutely takes on the cases.
Excellent.
She's like, oh, yeah. And she not only takes on the cases, but she gets quite high up with this as well. She decides she's going to go and investigate this herself, personally. Rather than send men down there, she's going. She's going now, which is bold.
Yeah.
As a woman alone, to go down, she might have had a companion or two, but she's going to go undercover to try and find it out and to get every bit of information that she can. Between 1906 and 1907, across Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, she is there poking her nose into the estates of the South, and she's not turning up, I'm a private investigator. No, she poses as an old woman selling scissors.
Nice.
Likes to turn up, literally, oh, hello, scissors and trinkets and goods and stuff. She goes to the turpentine camps. There's many of those. And she gets a glimpse of what would happen. And she would sometimes stow away in wagons that were going to the camps, just hide in the back so she can go and talk to the workers. She can get every bit of evidence that she can. And her going on as a seller of trinkets or anything like that, of scissors, onto the land, the bosses are fine with that because they're like, oh, great. Oh, so the workers want to buy some of your stuff. Great. I'll pay for it. More debt. More debt. They love it. And then unbeknownst to them, they are providing her more evidence. She would stay in the places where they slept. She actually talked about how she would drink the contaminated water that they had between them, and she came back and she got sick when she returned back to New York with her report. She had a fever, but she also had 46 affidavits as well that she had gathered to present to the Department of Justice to say, this is what is happening. This is peonage on a massive scale. All these people are being exploited. An official investigation was launched. Mary was appointed as a special assistant district attorney.
Brilliant.
The first woman to have been given that position. So, because they're going, well, she really knows what she's doing.
Yes, she knows a lot about this.
Fuck, none of us are doing a good job. We don't know what's happening. So she gets this position. And it's bittersweet in many ways because it's incredibly prestigious for her and everyone's flabbergasted. But she's investigating plantations, most prominently the Sunnyside plantation in Arkansas, or Arkansas, as
Arkansas.
Arkansas. And it is a site where she gets so much information that she will also meet a lot of frustration with it, because it's about 1907. She knows this place. This place is known for having all sorts of really lax labour laws and exploiting the workers to no ends. It was one point a cotton plantation. It had many, many slaves. And then they went, no, you can't have slaves anymore. Going, well, we'll just do forced labour. We don't even care. She, again, went undercover there. She got all of these sworn statements, and she got one sworn statement from one of the labour agents working there. And he implicated one of the company's senior partners, Leroy Percy, who was a big, big old, he was a landowner and he was a local politician and he was friendly with all the right people. Big, rich white man. His history, I looked into it. His history, a tiny bit murky, but he's still a shit. His famous bit, and I do feel like this is a bit of very interesting PR. He did confront the Klan at one point, where they sort of moved into a town where he was working, and he got them out. He said, we don't want you here. So everyone was like, yeah, you fought off the Klan, that's all good. Absolutely fine with forced labour. Absolutely fine with forced labour and everything like that, going, oh no, this is way better. And he didn't really think that a woman should be telling him what to do.
Oh, no.
No. This woman investigator, no. Okay, right.
Well, I'm from New York, who fancy.
Yeah, I'm just going to intimidate her. Apparently found out what she'd been doing on his land, and by the time she was staying in a hotel nearby, he arranged for someone to break into a hotel room, steal her report, and then very specifically, pointedly give it back to her. So her stuff was stolen, her room was ransacked, and then he had an agent come and deliver it back to sort of say, I can get to you.
Yeah.
I can get to you. Here's all my power. Mary's not intimidated.
No, of course not.
It's like, thank you for that.
She's better than that.
There we go. She had one of Percy's partners in the company arrested, and she passed on all the details to the press. She said, let the press do the work. The press will splash this all across the headlines. She argued in her investigation that the only way to stop peonage was by prosecuting those involved. You have to prosecute people. And she said, with proper support, I can completely wipe out peonage in the South within the next year. But it wasn't to be.
No.
Because big, powerful white men have big, powerful friends.
Yes.
And prosecuting them is a no-go. Percy, big old friends with Teddy Roosevelt, because they went bear hunting together. That's their thing. That was just, they hunted bears together. How many times and why? Bears? Really? Oh,
Bears.
yeah, big men. Oh,
Big man.
white man. Oh, big white man, she's a bear. Yeah, because he knew Teddy Roosevelt, he would never be prosecuted. He would never be dragged through the courts or anything, or any kind of slander would be put against his name at the time. And Mary was removed from the investigation. Yeah, okay, well, you've got a few people, you've got a scalp also, but no, you know, the investigation ends. But we'll still sort of carry it on in the background. And Percy, others slandered her, you know, for being a woman. Talked about just, you know, oh, she's just being a pushy female detective. She's not worth your time, not worth the consideration. Doing more harm than good. This whole kind of spin was taken. This argument that her work is affecting immigration numbers. We need immigrants. People aren't going to come over if they hear about forced labor. She's like, yeah. It's a good point. So pay them a fair wage and then they will come over. Fell on deaf ears, apparently. But she stood firm, insisted that working conditions had to be better. That is what would bring more workers over. The press ran various stories about the millionaires who still own slaves, and the Italian government began warning potential immigrants to America of the perils of heading to the southern estates to work. Said you need to be aware. It resulted in more people being wary of getting into that situation. So she couldn't be stopped. She couldn't be put down. She was a remarkable detective and a figurehead for the Department of Justice. She actually travelled all over Europe and also went into Egypt.
Wow.
Investigating how immigrants are being lured to America by these agents because they're coming over going, yeah, there's work in America. Come over and do this. And then they're just not going to pay them and they're just going to do horrible situations. But she travelled all over for it. But back in New York, away from that work, she took on more cases for the common man and also dabbled in more crime. And there was a great case that she got involved with. Yes, she was helping widows who'd been defrauded by dodgy insurance companies and lawyers charging extortionate fees for battling deportation orders. But in 1917, she earned her famous nickname, Mrs Sherlock Holmes, for her work solving the disappearance of Ruth Kruger.
Mother of Freddie.
I've had to say that in my head all day. All day it's been, there he is, it's Freddie's mother. No, it's
the ingredient could have been a nightmare or...
Oh, no, Kruger. No, but what happens to Ruth is not fun.
Oh, okay.
No. Ruth Kruger left her home on Claremont Avenue in Harlem, in New York City, on the 13th of February, 1917. She was 18 years old. She was wearing a blue velvet coat and a hat adorned with ribbons.
Oh, lovely.
White gloves, and she had a shiny graduation ring from Wally High School. She was heading out to do some ice skating. She had her ice skates with her. She was never seen alive again.
Boo.
Now, the next day, she's not come home. Family are in an absolute furore.
State.
Her sister Helen was searching far and wide for a sibling, but found no sign of her. The police had been contacted. Ruth's father had insisted and said, you know, we have to search for her. But the police seemed to be doing next to nothing. They had taken the stance that, you know, girls disappear.
Oh, they run away.
Days,
Yeah.
They may as well have been lifting up bits of paper on a desk going, no, she's not under here.
She's not there.
Lunch? Yeah, not looking for her. And there's a lot of chatter at the time in New York about girls either disappearing, being stolen as sex slaves. You know, big problem. Genuinely big problem.
We had another story where a woman was banished from the street.
Yes.
Yes.
We did have a mystery from New York.
Yes, in New York.
And lots of people thought, you know, is she being, is it the...
yes, and it was it the husband, was it the fiancé, or... Yes.
Yeah,
no,
was
she
she
just,
snatched? Well,
just disappeared from New York
This
Street.
is what's bubbling in the background, in the press, certainly, that there is this huge fear that women are being snatched to the street and being forced into prostitution, all this sort of thing. And while that's a valid concern, the police are more like, maybe she had a boyfriend.
Yeah, she probably just ran off.
I mean, was she really a good girl?
She's gone shopping.
Isn't it more likely that she probably had a few loose morals and maybe ran away with someone and was willingly going into different kind of work to annoy you, daddy? You know, that's the stance of the police. They just did not care. They didn't care at all, certainly according to the family. And there is enough frenzy around it, so the family are terrified that she has been kidnapped and been taken, but the police aren't taking it seriously because they think that's a frenzy and that's hysteria. But they're also just willing to go, an 18-year-old girl is willing to walk out of a house and just become a sex worker overnight or run off with a boyfriend. And then suddenly there's witnesses coming forward saying, oh, I saw her getting into a taxi with a man and I've seen her with different people. Just bullshit kind of witness testimonies that the police go, well, there's not much else we can do about it. But Daddy's not happy because obviously
unsurprisingly,
my daughter is missing. So there's only one person for the job.
Quite right.
Mary Quackenbos. Let's call her up. She's like, takes the call. Like, you imagine it. She takes the call. I'll be there in 10 minutes. She's there in 9.
There's a big queue in the sky.
She takes on the case pro bono. Daddy's not Paul.
No.
Again, offers to make it. She's like, no, I'm going to do this. And she starts doing the proper investigative work. She learns that Ruth's sister, Helen, had gone looking for Ruth the next day, the day after she'd vanished. And she found out that Ruth had gone to a motorcycle shop that would do repairs for all sorts of things. So like mothers would take their prams in there. But Ruth had gone in there to have her skates sharpened.
Right.
So she knew she'd gone there. Ruth had turned up the next day, found the shop locked at opening time. Later in the day, still locked, padlocked up, but eventually goes back and it's open in the afternoon and there's customers in there. And she asked the owner if a dark-haired pretty girl had come in to have the skates sharpened, and they confirmed, like, yes, but she hasn't been back for the skates. The police were told about the shop. The detective in charge insists that the word of the owner, Alfred Kochi, is to be trusted because he's a respectable businessman. And we've also been to the shop and we've looked around and we've looked all over the place, looked to the basement, looked upstairs and everything. There's nothing there. So there's nothing you worry about there.
Okay.
He's telling the truth. He's a respectable man. Not to worry then. Absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever with the fact that Alfred has just suddenly fled to Italy. Leaving his business and wife behind.
Okay.
He is left the country.
Some sort of flag may be raised at that point.
People are sort of waving a flag going, no. Still the detectives, respectable businessman.
Yeah,
he wouldn't lie. Mary's just cracks the knuckles. And she works 15 hours a day, apparently, on this case. She pores over every single detail. She interviews residents across Harlem. She focuses on Kochi's shop. She learns that at least 2 people had seen Kochi the day after the disappearance looking dirty and nervous, as in covered in sort of dirt. One saying that they'd seen him come out of the cellar. She goes to the shop. Mary goes to the shop. His wife is still there and asks, can she look in the cellar? Would she mind if she comes in and looks at the cellar? Kochi's wife was there and very kindly said, I'll split your skull with this brick if you try to come in here.
Okay. Right.
Search warrant then.
Yeah,
Search
not
warrant.
the best of invitations.
Mary obtains a search warrant to access the basement with a colleague. Actually, he's a friend of the family and also apparently was the warden at the Grand Central train station.
Okay.
But he knew the family, and so she and this man go down on the 16th of June. This is 4 months after Ruth has disappeared. And they look around and there's workbenches everywhere and there's tools and detritus, but they see sort of a large chest in the corner that's kind of out of place. Nothing in it. They move it and underneath is broken concrete. So they move the concrete, they start digging down. They find some bloody trousers buried there, and they dig and they hit a rubber sheet, which has been covering the smell. And underneath, there is the body of Ruth. Ruth has been buried. They find rope tied around her ankles. She died from a blow to the head, and her stomach had been slashed by her own ice skates.
Oh.
Which were buried next to her.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it went there.
Yeah. Blah.
Mary comes out of the basement. Apparently the father, Henry, is there and wants to come in. And father's just like, you're not looking at your daughter. But she brings out the graduation ring and said that she was wearing the day and said, is this hers? And he says, yeah, that was my daughter's ring. So they found her. Alfred Kochi was apprehended in Bologna in Italy. Now, the authorities will not extradite him, but they take him and they arrest him and they question him, and he confesses.
Oh, okay.
He confesses to killing her, and apparently, according to the Smithsonian magazine, he says, I had never seen Ruth Kruger before she came into my shop to have her skates sharpened. From the very beginning, Ruth did all in her power to attract my attention. I felt something strange when her dark, penetrating eyes fixed on me. I was still more disconcerted when she came again to get her skates. An overpowering attraction for the young woman seized me. What happened afterwards seems like a dream.
So it was actually entirely her fault.
He got 27 years in prison. Good. Grim story with a further twist.
Oh, for more twists.
With a further twist. And again, digging through this is just as it was reported. Mary pointed her finger at the New York Police Department for incompetence, for why didn't you find this body? Why didn't you find this girl? And through all her digging, it's like you let the case go cold. You allowed rumours to be circulated about her character, about just that she must have run off and she was immoral. And she also revealed that Kochi had a long-standing kickback scheme with the police.
Ugh.
In the kickback scheme seemed to be that petty criminals, and in one report I found they suggested someone who had been done for maybe a car crime or something like that. The criminals would go to Kochi. He compromised the case so there wouldn't be a prosecution, but he did this all for a fee. He says, I'll make this go away.
Right.
He gets the fee. He takes a portion. He gives a kickback to the police. So it's a whole cyclical thing.
A whole racket
So
going
petty crimes apparently sent to this guy. He'll make it all go away for a fee, but the police are getting cut of it. And there's a body in his cellar. Pretty embarrassing for the NYPD.
Christ, yes.
So the head of the NYPD, make her a special investigator. Yeah, let's hire her, definitely. She's pointed out all these faults, so we need to give her a job, and shit. So she does. She becomes a special investigator. She's given this job. Mary spoke to the press about the case, saying she was determined to clear Ruth's name, that she did not want people to think this about her. And she knew from the start that the idea that the police put forward about her being waywardish was all bosh. She was also convinced that Kochi was trying to get Ruth and force her into the sex trade. She had seen the effects. She had seen enough people on the streets, and she had dealt with people at the legal aid level and said, no, but this is happening around here. People are going missing. So she believed that's what would happen. Mary would continue to fight for women's safety through the rest of her career. She formed the Morality League of America with the intention of saving missing girls and women from prostitution. She had all sorts of theories about that you need to find the girls as soon as possible, even if they have been brought into that trade, get them away from their captors, and you can look after them, they will be rehabilitated. You can save lives, whereas a lot of the men were just like, oh, well, once they're there, they're done. They're tainted goods. That sort of idea. Newspaper reports later of Ruth Kruger's murder failed to mention her role in it.
Of course it did.
They wiped her out. There were two apparently small blips on her record from the history blog. Apparently in November 1917, she was at the Women Lawyers Association dinner, and she announced that she had discovered 600 pregnant unmarried young women at the US Army's Camp Upton, and 7 of them were already dead. And she gave this stunning statement, and the army obviously denied everything that happened, and she wasn't able to provide any solid evidence for her allegation.
It's a bold claim.
It's a bold claim.
Yeah. 2
years later, apparently she was arrested for running a dance hall without license. These charges were dropped because the dance hall was the Manhattanville Be Kind Club, a club that she had started for youths to do wholesome activities together, and occasionally they would dance.
It's difficult to prosecute that one, I feel.
Yeah, it was also a daycare for working mothers.
Yes.
So yeah, you've got a dance hall going. She's like, don't really. Yeah, no.
Really, don't push it.
She died in 1948 in New York City, aged 77. There was a reporter from the New York Times who apparently came to one of her offices, and he gave this report of her. They walked into her office, and she was on the phone to her mother asking her to water her plants. It was like dropping in at Baker Street and having Holmes throw the pipe, the violin, and the hypodermic out the window and begin to discuss how many strawberries to make a shortcake. Frankly, so far as appearances go, Miss Humingston, which she was known as, is badly miscast in the role of the sleuth extraordinary, or as the programme might say, Mrs Sherlock Holmes. She herself told the New York Times, I've never read Sherlock Holmes. In fact, I'm not a believer in deduction. Common sense and persistence will always solve a mystery. You never need theatricals nor Dr. Watsons if you stick to a case.
I like it.
And that is the story of Mary Quackenbos, Humingston, Fiddle-dee-dee.
What a bloody marvellous story.
Mrs Sherlock Holmes.
Very nice.
There you go. go.
That's brilliant.
She's great, isn't
She's
she?
a fantastic woman.
Yeah, she is brilliant, and it is all very kind of. There's not a lot of crazy laughs and stupidity because she's just great.
It's just bloody brilliant. It's just you go for it.
I mean, all those cases and like saving people from death row and solving the murder and also going down and fighting, the slave labor as well. It's like, oh, she's so great. But
She's
again,
awesome.
wiped from history for many, 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 many years.
Bring her back.
Yeah. I think up until recently, I was looking at, when I was looking at the research, and there were various blogs written about her, and I found comments from back, and I think it was 2011, said she didn't even have a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah.
She does now. She does now, but they were saying like there's nothing I can find about her apart from these blogs, and now it's been fixed.
As it should be.
There you go.
Fantastic woman. Doing that all last minute in replacement of my episode, bloody marvellous.
There you go. Well, what do you think, people? What do you think of the story of Mary Quackenbos? A great name and a great lady who should be
certainly
remembered. Do you know more about her? Have you heard tale of Mrs. Sherlock Holmes? Are there more detectives that we should be covering? More female detectives that we could be diving into? Crazy, weird, strange cases that we should be dabbling with? Tell us what you think. Jump on the comments of this episode. Share your thoughts, your feelings, your musings. But most importantly, mix up your variation of the Conan Doyle.
The Conan Doyle, absolutely. Some lovely peaty whiskey if you're Sinead. And some Vernum.
I'll tell you, the peaty whiskey mellows beautifully because you got a big lump of ice in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a strong hit at first, but very nice.
Tasty drink. So yes, the recipe might be out at some point because I'm well behind. But yes, the recipe will be out. Mix one up.
Lovely. Should we do an episode on Arthur Conan Doyle? I think it's worth it.
I think there's some interesting. He was a slightly crazy man.
Fairies.
There are fairies.
Fairies. Love that story, though.
Yep.
Love that story. Do keep sending us suggestions of stories we can be covering in the future, whether they are poisoning stories, whether they're murdery stories, whether they're just crazy, crazy stories from history. The weirder, the better.
The weirder, the better.
As long as we've got fodder in there, we are happy. Please do consider joining us on Patreon if you want to get more from the Poisoners Cabinet every single week, as well as lots of behind-the-scenes material. And leave us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, guys. We have been the people inside the Poisoner's Cabinet. We will see you next week. And remember, your loved ones are trying to kill you.
Bye.